Module 3, Lesson 1, the Learn, Heart, and Last models. In hospitality, we aim for a flawless guest experience. But when you are managing hundreds of arrivals, complex requests, and overlapping services, operational friction is a mathematical certainty. Complaints are going to happen. When a guest raises a concern, you enter a pivotal window. How your team responds in the next few minutes determines whether that person walks out the door feeling entirely dismissed or genuinely valued. A rigid, robotic apology often fails to address the root of the problem. Your staff needs a dynamic toolkit to adapt to different personalities, ensuring everyone is treated with fairness and consistency, regardless of the issue. Applying these specific service recovery frameworks creates a predictable, professional mechanism to resolve conflict and protect the guest relationship. Let's start with a scenario where the facts matter as much as the feelings. Imagine a guest presenting a complex, multi-layered billing error spanning several days of room charges and dining credits. This diagram outlines the LEARN framework. It is a methodical, 5-step approach designed to unpack procedural issues systematically. It begins with listen and empathize. Your staff must remain 100% present, focusing on the facts of the bill while validating the guest's frustration. This focused attention helps de-escalate negative emotions before anyone even mentions a refund. Next, we apologize and resolve. The apology offers compassion for the inconvenience without prematurely admitting fault. Then, resolution provides a tangible, immediate correction to the folio based on hotel policy. Finally, we notify. We loop back to the guest to explain exactly how the situation was handled and what actions were taken. This ensures total transparency. Because of its clear, logical sequence, LEARN serves as a reliable map. It ensures that even staff with very little experience won't miss a technical detail when navigating a complex service failure. But what if the problem isn't technical? Consider a guest who has just endured an unusually long wait at check-in. They are exhausted, irritable, and looking for relief, not an audit. This continuous loop represents the HEART framework. Unlike our previous model, HEART prioritizes emotional intelligence over procedural fixes. We start by hearing and empathizing. Here, staff must dig beneath the surfeit complaint of a slow line. They need to recognize and validate the deeper fatigue and frustration driving the guest's reaction. Then, we apologize and respond. Compassion blends with professionalism. Responding might mean offering a complimentary beverage or involving the bell desk to expedite their luggage. The cycle completes with thank. By thanking the guest for their patience and for bringing the issue forward, you establish respect and pivot a MEGIV encounter toward relationship building. When the friction is highly charged, HEART proves to the guest that their emotional state carries just as much weight as solving the logistical problem. Sometimes, however, you do not have the luxury of extra time. Picture a busy lobby during peak checkout hours. A minor inconvenience occurs, like a missing set of extra towels, and you need immediate triage. This timeline illustrates the LAST framework. It is a fast-track model engineered for speed and efficiency, delivering quick results without sacrificing courtesy. The first 2 steps, listen and acknowledge, mirror the empathy found in the other models. The difference here is velocity. You confirm the issue and validate the guest's needs rapidly. Then you move straight to solve and thank. It is a no-nonsense approach to securing those towels instantly and closing the brief interaction on a positive, grateful note. During a heavy rush, utilizing LAST prevents operational bottlenecks and protects your staff from burnout while ensuring the guest still feels noticed and appreciated. This scale represents the core tension in service recovery, balancing empathy with action. Apply a model poorly, and the scale tips wildly out of control. One common error is over-indexing on the emotional side. If a team member focuses entirely on listening and empathizing, but never advances to a resolution, the guest feels heard but doesn't actually get any help. Conversely, rushing straight to an immediate solution without validating the guest's feelings tips the scale the other way. The interaction comes across as dismissive and mechanical, leaving the guest cold. Memorizing acronyms is ineffective if your staff fails to read the room. They have to adjust for cultural differences and accurately calibrate their response to the specific emotional state of the person standing in front of them. Take a look at this digital management dashboard. It highlights a critical step that often gets ignored when applying LEARN, HEART, or LAST: meticulous documentation of the interaction. By logging the emotional climate and the specific strategy used, you ensure uninterrupted service. If a different employee has to follow up later, they already know exactly what the guest has been through. Over time, this aggregated data allows management to spot recurring bottlenecks. You can analyze complaint trends, build targeted training, and implement broader operational improvements. These models provide excellent guidelines, but their true power relies entirely on the human acumen, empathy, and judgment of your team members. Frameworks mastered through flexible application act as powerful catalysts, turning initial friction into the foundation for long-term advocacy and loyalty.